Stephen, I want to talk about a player that I feel like you have great kinship with because he is so competitive and emotional and plays hard. And for a lot of his career, people misunderstood that.
Right.
And then they are now seeing how he can channel that into something at the literally highest level. Game 2, 11 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, played nearly 30 minutes. And look, he'd only played a total of 33 minutes the entire postseason.
Right.
Yeah.
Leading up to that. What do you think? What do you think his performance is going to impact these finals? And then again, the looming question, which is his free agency.
Well, I love everything that's happened. I was there in New Orleans the night he hurt his Achilles.
I remember.
And the basketball guards work out for you if you treat the game the right way. I was misunderstood my whole career, and y'all know me better than anybody, so y'all know I've been misunderstood. And I think people misunderstood his passion for the game and him being a bad person. And growing up how we grow up, we're not taught to handle certain situations. We're not taught how to respond the right way. So sometimes we lash out the wrong way. And he's done that a lot. But where he is today, going through the hamstring injury, going through, the quad injury and the Achilles injury, to have an opportunity to have a big role in the finals, this is the basketball guard showing, hey, we put you through a little bit, but this is your opportunity to shine at the highest level of basketball. You have players that's hurt on your team. So your role is bigger. You have to play well on both ends of the ball. This is a great opportunity for him to put all the injuries behind, play well in the finals, get a good contract, and be an NBA champion. I'm happy he has this opportunity.
Yeah, and I mean, really, with the quad muscle, with everything that had already happened, it would have been easy. Nobody would have blamed him if he just said, you know what, it's not my year.
Right.
I'm just going to shut it down. And he did the exact opposite. And you talk to the Golden State people, the front office, and some of the medical staff, and they can tell you how difficult it was. And when nobody's around, you know what it's like. No, you don't, because you just told us you've never been hurt.
Right.
But when you're hurt and nobody's around, it's really difficult.
It's lonely.
And you could feel sorry for yourself, which he said I did for a couple of days. Free agency to me is an interesting question. I think we know it's going to be very difficult for him to return to Golden State just because of their economic situation and they have other priorities. So did other teams need to see this unselfish, redoubtable, hardworking Boogie? I would hope not. Right? He's been around a while.
Yeah, but I think there were two questions about him, right, that hurt him last summer. Was, can he hold up, right? Because
That's
a
a big
big
one.
man gets an Achilles injury over the age of 25. The track record is not great in this league.
Right.
So a lot of teams didn't want to bank a long-term deal on him for big money, saying we don't even know if he's going to come back and be the same kind of player. He showed in Game 2 he could be a dominant force at literally the highest level against an excellent defense in the Toronto Raptors. The other question is, as you pointed out, his, quote, maturity is kind of the catch-all that people have put things under. The maturity that I think he showed in taking the deal with Golden State in the first place, understanding that betting on himself and his long-term interest would require some short-term sacrifice. That's maturity. And then the maturity, as you point out, Jackie, getting back from this injury, going back from the Achilles is one thing because we all knew it was going to be a year and this is the process you go through. When he got hurt in the first round of the playoffs, nobody who was in the gym that night thought he was coming back. Nobody. And the fact that he did the work required to do it and was disciplined enough and said to Steve Kerr at the beginning of these finals, I don't care how you use me. You want to put me off the bench? You want to put me in for 5 minutes? I'm fine with that. If teams wanted to know that about him too, they now have hard evidence there. So I think this is a really important stint for him.
And me being in San Antonio and going from the Nets to going to an organization like San Antonio, it helped me grow as a person. And being around better players, being around guys who are professionals, it helped me grow. And that's the same situation with Boogie. He's around professionals. Steph is the most professional guy I've ever seen. KD, Clay, he's around guys that's won and that's professional. And he's coached by two of the best guys who's been there, Steve and Mike Brown. So he's in a perfect situation for him to grow. And if he didn't grow out of the situations, then teams will be looking at him crazy.
Right, and we have to remember there did need to be some growth.
Right?
Let's just remember. I mean, with the whole thing with George Karl in Sacramento and some of the other issues that went on with him. And so I like seeing this. And I hope for him when he goes to his next team and he's going to have a bigger role that he can accept all the things you're talking about because he could, you know, you forget. I always think he's old. He looks old.
He's not.
He's not old.
He's not old.
He's not even 30.